So what's up, boys? It's oh my, I can't even do my intro. What's going on, everyone? It's GentooMan here, also known as Rainy. I'm doing a live commentary again because I feel like it, and I shouldn't, but at least it's not Outlast this time, so I can probably pay attention. I mean, that was a lie, but we'll see. Anyways, today's story time, I'm not going to waste much more time. Today's story time is about an experience that I had a good couple of years ago. I don't even really know how to contextualize it before the story starts without, like, ruining the story. So it is kind of a funny one. It goes a direction you wouldn't expect. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Y'all read the title. Go off of that. So yeah, story time takes place... I don't know. Like I said, good couple years ago. I don't know what day it is most of the time, so I could not tell you what... Like, I could not tell you what year it was. But anyways, it was a good couple years ago. I guess we'll start one day. It was me and a girl I was seeing at the time. And we were kind of just hanging out because her friends from out of town had come into town. That sounded weird. I feel like that came out weird. Anyways, they'd come into town, and they're from, like, a really small town, right? Like, their town... I would describe it as, like, I've been to their town. I would say their town is probably what it's like to live in South Park. It's very small. There's, like, nothing there. So, I live in a city, so coming to the city, there's, like, a lot more stuff to do. So we were taking them out to, like, you know, like, do city stuff while they were here, right? For the first couple of, like, hours, I'd say, during the day, the girl I was seeing, she had to work. So it was kind of just me hanging out with these, there's a guy and a girl, and for the sake of the story, what should we call them? I'm always bad at coming up with names in the moment. So for the sake of the story, we're going to call them, what should we call them? We'll call them, damn. Okay. We'll call them Steve and Mandy, I guess. Sure. Anyways, Steve and Mandy, they were, like... they're from out of town, as I've said. Anyways, they showed up and were kind of just, like, driving around. We weren't doing a whole lot. The girl I was seeing at the time, she worked at the mall, and we would kind of just, like, hang out around the mall and, like, surrounding area. We kind of just, like, went to shops. Steve was kind of, like, looking for like a vape, I know, because he, like, was just, like, he vaped. So we spent a long time looking for a vape store. We eventually found, like, a cigar store that we thought might sell vapes. I think they did. I don't quite remember because, to be honest with you, while he was buying his vape, I saw that this store was selling, like, empty boxes for, like, $3. They weren't even, like, good condition. They were just, like, broken down cardboard boxes. And they were like $3, and I thought that was really funny. Anyways, none of that is really important to the larger story. It's kind of just, like, setting the stage, I guess. Anyways, evening comes around, and I hate to keep saying, like, the girl that I was seeing. We'll give her a name too. We'll call her Alex. So Alex gets off work and meets up with us, and we go back to her house, and the plan is that we're gonna go out, you know, like, to the bars, the clubs. And if you guys have been around this channel for a while, or you, like, know me personally, you'll know that's not really my vibe. But it's like a city thing, and it's what they wanted to do, and I was just kind of along for the ride, and I was willing to just, like, you know, I was just willing to do it. Like, I'll do it sometimes, it's just not my favorite. Anyways, so that's what we do. We get ready, and we go out to this club. Like I said, it was so long ago, I don't even really remember exactly where we went. We might have gone to a few places. There was one place in specific that I remember we went to. I mean, I can't really, like, say what it was, like, exactly, because it gives away exactly where I live. But it was a club, pretty much, is what it was, and it was a fun place. Like, you know, it was just a club. Like, it's a place where you dance and they serve drinks, and it's just one of those. So that's where we went. And, like, it was fun for a bit. I mean, it was actually, you know what, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna, like, try and keep up the nonchalant, like, you know, like, it was okay, because I just sound like an idiot. It was actually fun. Like, I actually had a decent amount of fun this evening. So, we stayed there, like, pretty much till they closed. It was, like, I want to say it was, like, 2 in the morning when they closed. So we showed up, like, I want to say, like, 10, 11 p.m. Like, we were there for a good couple hours. So once we had, like, kind of ran our course there, like, I wish I could say, like, oh, and then this interesting thing happened, like, at the club, but, like, it didn't really. We were kind of just there. So, yeah, I mean, like, we were there, but we were having fun, right? You know, it was a good time had by all. People coming in from out of town seemed to be enjoying themselves, to say the least, which was good. Like I said, good times were had by all, and everyone was chilling, just having a good time. But as it happens in the nightlife in cities, I might be the worst Fortnite player on the planet. Anyways, as it happens in cities, eventually things close down a lot later than they would in like smaller towns. But eventually things do close down. Like I said, I think it was about like 2 in the morning. And we decided, we're like, you know what? Let's go to Denny's, because Denny's is like always open. Like if Denny's is closed, like the world is probably ending. Like I'm convinced that Denny's employees like aren't actual like people. Like they have to staff their buildings with androids, because like that place is always open. Like, no offense to you if you're a Denny's employee. If you're a Denny's employee, like I actually love you. Like I don't know if I have the capability to do that job, but anyways, we go to this Denny's, right? We were gonna get an Uber to like a Denny's closer to our houses, but we decided to just like go to the one near where we were. It was pretty far from where we live. That was probably the worst sound ever recorded by this microphone, but I got extremely dehydrated. Anyways, we go to this Denny's, and there's this other girl with us, and I ended up annoying her so badly at the Denny's that I don't think to this day that she's ever forgiven me. And it was simply because she ordered something off the menu called the Zesty Nachos, and I thought it was the funniest thing, like every 5 seconds, to just look at her and be like, so what exactly makes them zesty? And she would just be like, oh my god, I fucking hate you. Like, stop, please. And like the first couple times, it was just like, oh, like, stop. Like, that's not funny. Like, stop asking. And then at a certain point, I was like genuinely pissing her off. But me being myself, I thought that was funny. So, you know. Anyways, we eat our food at Denny's. I've learned over the years, in case anyone cares for my advice about Denny's, that you should always order breakfast food, because every single time that I've ordered non-breakfast food from Denny's, I've been like really disappointed. Is that entirely on me for like expecting a gourmet meal at a Denny's? 100%, yes. But you know, I live and I learn, and I would like to share my wisdom with you guys. Anyways, this is already a really long story, and we're like not even to the part that it's about. So moving on, we eat the Denny's, and we're there for like a long time, right? Like it's already like 2 in the morning by the time we get to the Denny's. Like it's past 2 in the morning by the time we get there. But at this point, like by the time we leave, we're closing in on like 4 a.m. And something that I forgot to mention, because at this point, like, I'm not going to go on a whole rant and say, like, oh, I'm much smarter now, because I'm definitely not, and I would definitely do this kind of thing these days, but I was almost, like, more willing to do extremely stupid things at this point in my life. What I didn't mention, I mean, earlier in this story, is that I had a staff meeting for my job, and it started at, like, I was, like, 6 or 7... I just heard it. If you need to take a minute to throw your arms up in the air like an idiot, go for it. It was like 6 or 7 in the morning, right? And I had to be up, and I had to be there for this staff meeting. But in my infinite wisdom, I was like, well, I'm not missing out on like the fun, and I'm just gonna stay home like an idiot. Like, you know, I gotta go be part of the fun. So I did that. And we get home at like 4 in the morning. And at this point, I don't possess a vehicle, so I like walked to work every single day, which was the plan. So I had to get up like and leave like an hour before the actual thing started. So I had to leave the house 2 hours from when we got back. So me and Alex, we go to bed. And I'm like, damn, I have to leave in 2 hours, and we're just going to bed. So we go to bed, and we like try and sleep pretty fast. Alex has the audacity to wake me up like 20 minutes into this sleep, asking if I can go get her water. Which I did. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I was happy to do it for her, but, yeah, that happened, which was awesome. Just cut into the sleep that I'm already not getting. So anyways, I don't sleep very much, right? And somehow I make it to this staff meeting and like survive the encounter. That was not an easy task by any means, because like I wanted to sleep so bad. I did not want to be there. I'd be lying if I told you that I took in like much of any information. But that's okay, because you know the important thing is that we made it out alive. Hold on a second here. So yeah, anyways, nothing that interesting happens at the staff meeting. like I said, even if it did, I probably wouldn't have taken it in. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Justin Bieber showed up for all I know. I don't know. I was awake and I didn't fall asleep, but I was going through it, as anyone would. Anyways, so meeting ends. And I start heading back to Alex's house, right? Because, you know, they're still hanging out, and like the out of town friends, like they don't have anything to do. They don't have like work or anything to go to. So they're still hanging out. And Alex is the day off work. And I wanted to be part of the fun. I didn't want to be responsible. My thing was over, and so I'm making my way back to the house. And as I'm making my way back to the house, Alex calls me and she's like, "Hey, we gotta go." What did I call the other girl? Mandy, something like that. It's Mandy now. Anyways, a girl from out of town is Mandy. So Alex calls me. She's like, "Hey, like Mandy has to go like pick something up, so we're going to do that. Like, do you want to come? Like, we can come pick you up." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like I'll come for that." Like I was just happy to be part of the vibes, right? Like anything that's going on, that's what I'm here for. So they come pick me up, and we start driving, and we drive like. I don't even know what direction we're going. We start driving like sort of on like the back roads, like not on like the main roads. We weren't driving into like the middle of nowhere, but we were driving like just not the main roads, you know? So I start to get confused, but I'm so tired that I'm like borderline falling asleep in this van. It is like Mandy's van. And like, so I'm not asking questions, right? I'm kind of just here and I'm like trying to get some rest in the van. And I'm like, I don't even ask where we're going, but I am curious where we're going. So eventually, we pull up to an IKEA, and we start, like, I kind of, like, regain consciousness in the IKEA parking lot, and we start, like, driving through the parking lot. And Mandy is like, "Okay, so we're looking for, like, a white van with, like, I forget, like, white van," and, like, starts describing the van, right? And he's like, "Oh, and, like, this person on the inside." And I'm like, "What are we here to do?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, like... well, my dad sent me, and we're meeting this guy, and we're, like, picking up some stuff from him." And I'm like, "Oh. Like, what kind of stuff?" And right as I'm saying this, like, we, like, stop the car, because she's like, "Oh, like, I see the guy." And we stop. And we get out, and we see the guy. And I don't know why I said guy, because looking back on it, I'm pretty sure it was actually a woman. So we see the woman, and... they all start piling out of the van, so I join them, and I don't know what the hell is going on, right? Like, I don't know what we're doing here. I'm just, like, along for the ride. So, like, Mandy and this lady start talking. They, like, you know, make sure they're the right people or something. As you can probably tell, I was extremely out of it when this was happening, so I'm severely lacking the details. I apologize here. So, you know, they exchange their pleasantries, I suppose, and the next thing you know, this lady that we just met is opening up the back of her van, and she has these, like, large Tupperware containers, and she opens one, and it's all, like, a bunch of individually wrapped things, and I gotta be honest with you guys, it looked a lot like bricks of something illegal that, like, I don't know what YouTube's policies are these days. Can I say it? It starts with a C and ends with ain. That's what it looked like. So I'm beyond confused, right? I think that I have just become an accessory to a crime. But, like, I'm not one to judge. I'm just here for the vibe. So I just kind of, like, exist. And so we help Mandy and this lady, like, move a bunch of these into the back of Mandy's van. And once we do that, like, we finish it up, and it takes a while. Like, they're heavy, and there's a lot of it. So we finish it up, and we end up back in the van, start driving, and, you know, I think at that point to ask, like, "So, what did we just pick up?" And they told me, like, "Oh, well, my dad sent me to, like, pick this up because he, like, paid the lady a bit ago for this." And I'm like, I got that, but, like, what was that? Like, what did we just take? She's like, "Oh, it's a bunch of ground beef. Like, we bought a cow." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes so much sense." Like, people do that. Like, you'll buy, like, a cow, and then, like, from a farmer, and then when they butcher the cow, you'll, like, get all the meat. So that immediately, like, deleted all concerns, I suppose. But... yeah, in the moment, it definitely seemed like I was an accessory to a crime. So, that's cool. And yeah, other than that, it was pretty pretty chill weekend. Went around the city, did a little bit more city stuff. And yeah, it was fun, and I wasn't an accessory to a crime or anything like that. So yeah, it's just a funny little story, I guess, that I told terribly because I'm actually awful at live commentaries. So yeah, if anyone made it this far in this video, which probably no one did, I'm expecting like maybe 3 people at max to make it this far. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate that. Sorry that I told this so terribly. I'd like to get back to my regular format somewhat soon. Like, I'm so much better just locking in and telling the story if I'm not trying to do it while I'm actively playing a game. Like I've said, I'm really not good at live commentaries. Maybe I'll get better at them at some point if I keep doing them. But yeah, I'm just really not all that good at them. I just made a song as well. I know there's 2 on this channel already. I just made another one that I'm hoping to have up soon. I'm just making like the final touches on it. So if you guys would check that out when it comes out, that would mean the world to me. This one has been the most personal and the one I'm most excited about. So yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. I'm always so bad at ending these videos. So thank you guys for watching this. Sorry it was not very well recorded. Otherwise, I will catch y'all in the next one. See ya. Take care.